Okay, so I want to talk about Bitcoin and Mara stock because Bitcoin and both Mara stock is approaching a very important buying opportunity. I'm going to break it down. There's plenty of time to approach this, so I want to be very clear about it, and I'll give you guys updates going forward as well. But let's go ahead and jump into the charts. But do remember, guys, everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion. Please remember that, and please do your own research and due diligence. I am just here to express my opinions on the chart and show you guys what I am looking for. But also, I haven't been uploading a bit recently. There's a lot of stuff I'm working on. I've been talking about it for the most part on Discord. There's a lot of good stuff coming to the channel. It's gonna be super exciting. So once I actually get all that finished, um, it's gonna be amazing, and I'll be able to create a lot better content for you guys. And there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. So I'm just trying to get a lot of that you know finished. As of right now, though, what's going on, right? Because we have on Thursday, core CPI, or sorry, Thursday, initial jobless claims, super important. Friday, we got some CPI reports, and then the following week, so after this one, we finally have the next FOMC interest rate decision, and I do believe that the expectations are 0.25 rate cut. And before I actually jump into my opinions on Bitcoin, before we jump into tomorrow, if we can see, and I mean, if you guys have been watching recent update videos, my opinion hasn't really changed. But if you guys know how I've been approaching these announcements, primarily FOMC announcements, when there's an expectation in place. If we're overvalued in the short term, usually we end up seeing a reasonable correction afterwards. And the last FOMC, we saw that. This time around, we actually are not, at least at the moment, we are not short term premium. We are actually trading discount, and there's still some more room to come down. So this time around, it could be different. But regardless, I am accumulating based off of value structures, and I'm gonna keep doing it like that. But basically, nothing has changed. But I'm gonna give you guys a reminder here. So we're still, the idea and the ideal pathway for Bitcoin before we actually see a reasonable bottom where we can be, or at least where I can be very confident with, is coming down and actually trying to hit this zero point 0.5 retracement. This is going to be at 99.5k. So the idea is for us to actually break below 100k. It doesn't have to happen. So here's some things and then how I'm approaching this. So if you guys been watching recent videos, I purchased some IBIT shares because I like, and I've said this many times, I like Bitcoin underneath $120. That's still a decent spread away from the 128k price target, but 128 or 120 and below is really really good deal in my opinion, especially since this bull market is still here. There's nothing indicating that it's over just yet. So I'm approaching this focused on position sizing and focused on the next 128k price target. So when it comes to measuring retracement and how low we can go, technically the low could be in. The low could be in because we broke into short-term discounted prices or short-term deep value discounted prices. I always try to make sure these are purple for color coding reasons. But the idea here is that we came into it, we bounced up into a nice corrective zone. So between 111.5k to 117.5, this is where the corrective move can top out at, and it went into the area, topped out in it, and now we're trying to have a corrective move down. So right now the price is stabling in short-term support quite well. We're in the discounted portion of it, but we are still respecting this descending resistance line. So this can continue even if we do bounce out of the yellow short-term support. We're still trading below the 120 moving average right here, and it's it's starting to flatten out. But the idea is that regardless what fluctuations we see here, regardless if we pump out of it, we still have to break and hold above this descending resistance. But I'm not really focused on that. What I'm focused on and seeing. So here's the thing. I already accumulated. If you guys saw the video, it was 50k invested into IBIT. I believe the average IBIT, and I'm only gonna really show it on Discord now. I think I'm gonna show pretty much most of my trades only on Discord to give more value towards Discord. Um, and it makes it a lot easier to just show updates on there. It's faster than waiting to just do an update on YouTube. It's a lot faster to just update on Discord. So basically the idea is this position is ready for the pump, but I am not done accumulating. I would ideally like to see the price come down and hit the 0.5 retracement at 99.5k. This would actually allow the bigger picture retracement from the low down here. The last time we were quite discounted, all the way up to the current all-time high. This will be a really nice retracement, which we did fill. It's good enough, but we tend to see these areas filled more. So I'm waiting to see if short-term support can actually break and allow the price to come down lower so I can accumulate and add to that position and potentially add to BitU or open a new BitU swing trade to complement the IBIT at these discounted portions. So right now, I really like where the value of Bitcoin is. So I have no problem just accumulating IBIT and then getting ready for the next all-time high. But when it comes to like taking advantage on the side and complementing it with some more aggressive short-term positions, the idea is that I only want to do that if we can come down to around 99.5k. That's where ideally I would like to see this, but I'm ready for the price to go up. I would prefer to be able to complement IBIT with BitU if we can come down in here into this range, so a little bit below 100k. But the price is trading discounted. There's no reason to try to be perfect with it because we already broke into the purple. Any further break into the purple is just like, another chance for any buyers that didn't accumulate already have a chance to do so, and that's just my opinion. Really, really good. Really, really good. There's a lot of value here. Also, if we come down further into this 0.5 range, it would allow these previous support levels to present themselves once again now in the near future, potentially. So I would like to do that. If it just starts to pump, cool, I'm invested already. I really don't care, but I would like to add more, but I will only do so down there. So for me, it's all about position sizing right now and just being patient with it and then waiting and paying attention to macroeconomic data, and then what kind of like red and green flags pop up, and rather not I want to decrease the position or just continue to hold it and actually add more if I get that nice buying opportunity. So I'm just being patient with it. If you guys already saw the strategy video I made a couple weeks ago, I explained it. I want to do another update on it, like I said I was going to give a little bit more detail on how my strategy is actually broken down. But if you guys saw that video, if you go back like a few weeks ago, like filtered through most recent videos, it's labeled very clearly. You'll understand why I'm being so chill when it comes to taking positions this far into the year, because those core positions I explained in that video have already been very, very generous. So I have no reason to like force trades, and I'm ready to rebalance in 2026. But the idea here for Mars stock, so if you guys remember, I've said this so many times, but basically I like to use red as accumulation opportunities. That's the color coding, and then usually blue extensions and value gaps are an opportunity to take profit. So we've had 3 overall swing trades completed very nicely. Accumulation, take profit, value gap, accumulation, take profit, extension. This time around, we were to take advantage of both. There was some accumulation, value gap, take profit, and an opportunity to capture short-term support with some red accumulation, with blue overall take profit there, which we filled very nicely. Not as much as this, but just breaking over the 1.236 at 21.85 was amazing because it broke through the median area before it topped out and it came down lower. So now, and I told you guys I was gonna, and I talked about this a lot on Discord. I didn't end up taking a short here, like I said I was going to. There was like a lot of back and forth. I make it very clearly when I'm not like completely certain if I want to do something on Discord, because I don't want to misinform anyone. So the idea was that we were respecting this ascending support line. We have some confirmation that we are going to actually fill this area a bit more. So that's what I'm paying attention to. So before I update this short-term resistance, here's the deal. We've been respecting this green, and I changed the color so it's easier to look at. There's quite a few white lines here. But the idea is that we've been, ever since earlier this year, we broke below the bigger picture ascending support that's held very, very nicely. We started using the support as resistance. So now, with this last accumulation opportunity and take profit up here, amazing trade. Anyone that actually took advantage of this, like, congrats. Um, it was an amazing run. It was actually faster than I thought I was going to. I thought we would still be trading within discounted range, but it happened sooner rather than later. But the idea here is that I kept saying, well, I want to see a retracement filling this area to potentially capture 2150 uh, strikes for some puts, and then using these support lines as TPs. But at the moment when I was looking at them, the premiums for these puts were too high. The amount of spread just to break even on the puts were like, we're still holding the support line. There's no indication that we're going to break it yet. At the time, even when the price rallied up and maxed it out, it never topped out the RSI. So I was like, you know what? Like, I would rather just wait because the RSI not maxing out. And I'm okay that I missed out this trade because, in my opinion, it's a lot better to miss out a trade when your indicators aren't telling you it's an obvious opportunity. Having the patience to do so and not forcing a trade is more powerful, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people should really practice that because it's self-discipline. But basically, we pushed higher. We had a lot of momentum. I mean, so much momentum. It never even maxed out the RSI. Nice value gap. The idea here was that since we never maxed out the RSI, we're going up higher. Any pullback after maxing out this short-term resistance in yellow, any pullback could be sustainably held and it can go up higher. So that's what I didn't want to force into this trade. I'd rather just sit back and watch it. So the point of this is I conserved capital without taking this trade, which I'm very happy about, but it did come down lower. So now, since it broke below the ascending green support, what I'm looking at now is that we have more confirmation that this downtrend is actually forming, right? So we were doing higher highs and higher lows going higher. We formed, now it's confirmed because we broke below this swing low right here. We have a lower high that's confirmed, and now we have a lower low. So the idea here, and I'm going to move this now because it did its thing. If I can show you guys real quick. So there's two ways of looking at it. You can either be more aggressive doing it this way, or you can do the bigger picture. I'll just do the bigger picture because we're still early within this downtrend, so I want to be more flexible with it. The idea here is that now, if the price continues to rally, there's some resistance within this area. Now that we have that lower low and a confirmed lower high, I will be more convinced to take, at least for me, some put contracts, accumulating them within this area, regardless of the RSI does, because now we actually have a downtrend, early stage of a downtrend actually confirmed. The RSI doesn't matter too much in this point. So regardless, overall, the view is continuation downward. I would like to grab a 21 strike here. Even 2050, 21 strikes for me, I think that's what I'm going to look for. Because we're still going into this FOMC. Any appreciation by then can just be, completely canceled out. We still have, I think it's tomorrow, 23rd, I believe, something like that. We have some macroeconomic data coming out soon. So the idea here is that, yes, I missed out on this put opportunity, but I am cool with it because I didn't have enough evidence to actually be confident with it. So I'd rather conserve capital. But now, since we actually have the downtrend forming and we have that lower low confirmed with the lower high confirmed as well, if I can capture 2050, 21 strikes, that'll be awesome. There's an opportunity to capture the 2150 strike, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be conservative with it, 5 to 10 contracts as well. But I'm more inclined, regardless of the RSI says, to actually take this trade now because the structure is proving itself a bit more. So on top of that, regardless of this short-term trade opportunity, the overall idea is that I want to see the price come down into the 15s and potentially even into the high 14s before this accumulation zone becomes real attractive. Because if we start accumulating, at least if I start accumulating some equity in this stock early, we can be trading this area for quite a while. Just like back here, we traded in it for a while. There's no reason right now to be like overly hyped. A lot of retracements within this rally have been invalidated. So a further break into this is, in my opinion, likely, and we can actually trade in here for a while, just like here. But once we come further into this area, it becomes attractive, and then we can see some wide fluctuations within it to take advantage of, short-term profit taking, just locking in and potentially opening up, just like we did back here, long and shorts within this sideways channel. We can have an opportunity to do that as well. But the idea is that I'm not overly optimistic when it comes to short-term longs right now. I'm more interested in capturing some shorts, some puts in this zone, letting the price come down into this zone, and then actually being patient with it and seeing if we can see the price break below 1550 and then trade in the low 15s, 1550. So below that, low 15s, and then high 14s. Even around 1440, like 1440 to 1550 seems like a really attractive buying opportunity here. There's a lot of value there in my opinion. So that's what I'm focused on. This accumulation zone really comes alive below the 0.5. Once we break below 1550, it really becomes alive. But under 16 will be fine as well, as long as position sizing is in focus. But yeah, that's where it becomes alive. As of right now, for short-term trades, I'm looking for an actual puts opportunity in the premium section of this yellow, with the idea is that the price will fluctuate. It will have its fluctuations, but the idea is that we're going lower. So there's some, if we have a corrective rally, we can have an opportunity to take advantage of that. But yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for. If we don't hit this area and we just come down sooner rather than later, then cool. We can keep an eye on that discounted portion going forward. That's what I hope that made sense on Mara stock. I hope everyone is being like super selective when it comes to highly fluctuative tickers like MARA. But yeah, with Bitcoin, we're still holding this support level, but any rally could be canceled out with a simple short-term retracement. We can potentially struggle to break over 111k, but the idea is that we still have an opportunity to max this range out a bit more. So there are some short-term long opportunities, but the idea is that until we can break out of this zone, so basically break over 118k, position sizing, risk management is just super important right now because we need that bullish confirmation. Until then, the view is lower into the short-term deep value before it becomes super, super attractive. It's already attractive, but super attractive down here, and that's what that's what I like, what I would like to look for. But we can still fill this area a bit more. Even if we fill this area, it doesn't mean we are going to go higher. If we can break 118k, then that opens the opportunity for a higher low to actually form more confidently. So basically, let's just say we hit 118, a potential for a... wait, no, sorry, hold on. I gotta make that higher. So a potential for a higher low becomes much more likely because at that point, this short-term resistance is basically invalidated. But as of right now, until all of that happens, I'm chilling. I'm waiting to see what Bitcoin does. I'm positioned for higher prices, but I'm also positioned to take advantage of those short-term discount. For Mara stock, I'm looking for lower prices. Although I may be, if I have the opportunity this time, it's much more confident. I'll have the opportunity to take some puts over here with some attractive strikes as well. So yeah, hopefully this video made sense, guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.